Hi, I'm John Storms, and what I'm showing you today is this little guy here. So I bought all my pixels pre-sale, and I forget how many strings of pixels I have coming, but it's a lot, okay? And of course, the first thing you need to do when your pixels come in is you want to go through and you test them, because if there's any that aren't working, you need to let the vendor know, usually within a set amount of time. So when I'm thinking about testing 30 strands of lights and hooking up each one individually to my controllers, I got to get the controller out, plug it all in. I was like, I need a faster way to do it. So I asked in some of the Facebook pages, and people recommended a bunch of things. And this one seemed to be the best option for a tester. So what it is basically just a little DMX box, and you hook it up, and then you can test it. On this side, you actually have DMX in and out. See, these are in, these are out. So you can actually hook multiples of these up together if you wanted to run like a little show off of them and use them as a controller. I'm not planning on doing that. I'm planning on just using it to test an individual string of lights. Alright, so this side's all the DMX in and out. Then on this stuff is where you hook up your pixels. So you take off this little panel. And the way it works is, this is your power in. So this is, you'd have an AC to DC converter like this one. This is from Holiday Coro. It's a 12 volt power supply, 3.7 amps, 45 watts. And that's 12 volts. My lights are 12 volts. You want to get a power supply that matches what your lights will do. Okay, and this guy can handle power anywhere from 5 to 24 volts. Okay. So right here, positive comes in here, negative is in there. Then you have these 4 screws, and what these are for, connect up to your pixels. So depending on how your things are wired up, for the WS2811s, you'll use V+, right, for the power, and then the second one for data. You skip the clock, and then ground, all right? So to hook up the pixels, I have this guy, right? And see, when I buy my lights, these are from Seasonal Entertainment. When I buy my lights, they come with these little plugs already put in. But in the process, I cut them up to get to the right size, so I inevitably end up with a couple of these ends, right? So I kept track of which one was the V positive. Data typically is always in the middle, and then ground is on the end. And so I'm going to use this as a little plug, right? And then when my new pixels come in, I just go bump, 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 plug them all in one by one, and make sure that they work. Now, when my pixels come in, they'll be hooked up to a pigtail, but I bought an extra pigtail just so I can wire it up here. So you can, whatever kind of connector you have on your lights, you just put the other type of connector here on your, on the little controller. All right, so let me wire these guys in here real quick. See if I can do it one-handed. Okay, so what I do is I poke it down the little hole, hold it in place, screw it down, like that. Then the middle one is data. Ooh, poked me. Okay, so now I put data into the data jack. And now I screw him down. Like that. And the last one is ground. So I skip that hole for clock, because my lights don't use it. I put it into ground. I screwed that down. Okay, so that's that. Now I got the power supply to hook up. So it's the same thing. Black is ground, red is positive, or black is negative, red is positive. So I screw these guys into place like this. And good and snug, but you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to strip the Phoenix connector, which is the green thing. See? Make sure everybody's tight. Don't want anything slipping out. See? just like that. So now, I go find some lights. Let's see. Here's some. So this is the matching plug, and so this is a string of 50 WS2811 pixels. We just plug them in like that. See? Make sure you can see the whole thing. And we plug them into our power strip. Oh, by the way, it comes with instructions, so you don't have to take my word for it. I'll tell you everything you need to know. And I turn them on. Okay, so it has a little light up display, and it has mode number. Okay, so while it says mode number, I switch the mode, and it will switch. I forget how many different modes there are, so let's see, there's 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, that's 19, ooh, it does a pretty thing, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 26. Okay, 2 is red, 3 is green, blue. You see, and I can do this, and then I get a pretty good feel that this is testing out my lights. Okay, now if I hit mode again, I can change the run speed. Alright, so I adjusted the white balance a little bit so we can actually see what's going on here. So the mode button runs you through the different modes. Okay, the speed, the lower the speed, the faster it goes. Okay, and you can slow it down by pushing this one up, or slowing it down by pushing this button down. You press mode, pix number. This tells you how many pixels are on the string, and I ran mine up and down to get it to 50 because I have 50 pixels on this string. The IC type, this is 2811. That's the chip type that's inside the lights, and when you buy them, you'll know what that is. And then LED sequence. So my lights are RGB. Can I flip this over without screwing anything up? Yes. So these are RGB, right? So if I come over to here, this now changes it to GRB, right? So it assumes that instead of red being first, it's green. Now you switch it again, and now it's blue, green, and I keep going, it'll come back around to red. That's in case your pixels are wired up in some non-standard way, which does happen, so you can control here at the controller. Okay. So now, oops, I switched it. I want to go back. Red, green, blue. Yep. So now I go to the next mode, and this is all control. So if you had multiples of these, this would be controlling everything, and I think this would be receiving. But since I'm not hooking multiples of these up together, I don't have to worry about that. And then here's the mode thing again, which is you switch this and it changes what the lights do. All right, so I can cycle through all of these. See, does different things. Now here, playing with the speed might be more fun. See, slows it down, and once you're past 4, it's practically stopped. So I keep that at 1. But anyway, I thought this was a pretty fun way to test out a whole bunch of lights. Now I just have to wait for my lights to show up. My pixels from Seasonal Entertainment didn't show up last year until June. My friend who bought his from Holiday Coro, he already has his. But anyway, just go through the list of stuff. So the snowflake itself is a Boss Koyo Chroma Flake, 24 inches, and it's at Boss Koyo Studios. The power supply is a 12 volt 3.75 amp 45 watt power supply. This is also from Holiday Coro, and this is the DMX 512 signal decoder, and I got that at Holiday Coro as well. So that's where all that stuff comes from.